I bought this very random looking gaming PC for 370 Aussie dollars. And in this wonderful red case, I was able to get an i7 8700, a GTX 1070 Ti with 16 gigs of RAM, a 550 watt power supply, and a 1TB hard drive. And I'm going to try to transform this whole thing, make it a bit prettier, make it a bit faster, and then flip it, sell it, and make a profit with a brand new transformed gaming PC. We've got a few problems with this one as well, like our PCIe bracket locking our graphics card is broken, so you can just launch the graphics card out without these two screws. And we need an I/O shield because we're missing that, and I don't want to sell a computer without one. It just doesn't, it feels a bit dodgy. And now, in order to do this, I'm going to need a new case because this case is very scuffed up. It doesn't look very good. It's kind of cool, to be honest. I think it's NZXT. I have to confirm that with you because it's actually pretty cool. If it wasn't so scuffed up, it's probably even worth keeping and doing cool old school builds in it because I think it's actually pretty cool. I've never seen a red case before getting this either. And next, we're going to need an SSD because a hard drive speed is not going to cut it, especially for our operating system. So we'll get that sorted, as well as a new CPU cooler because I don't think the stock cooler will be very good, especially for an i7. With that new case, we'll put some RGB fans in there to really complete the look. And I think it's quite helpful that our RAM actually has some RGB on it too, so they'll kind of get us over the line and make our computer just looking absolutely tremendous compared to this, and like a proper gaming PC. And with all those upgrades, I'm going to try to sell this computer for 850 Aussie dollars, with me putting in only about $200 into this thing from originally. So about 570 cash all in to get 850 out. That's my goal. By the way, the system does post, so let me just turn it on. Here we go, we're getting something. So let's wait for it to boot. Okay, well this is lovely. We do not have any signal, so we're gonna have to figure that out. We still have no post, but I think I've discovered the problem. See that? We just hope. Let's have a look. As you can see, this is what I meant with the thing. So usually there's a little switch that locks the card in. Been broken off somehow. And I'm wondering if the graphics card is faulty. Bear in mind, when I bought this, it was turned on and working. When I got home, I took the graphics card out of the system because it was actually sagging, and I was like, I'll just leave it out and I'll pull it back in for the video, whatever. But now, I'm just going to go swap in like a 960 or something just to see if it works. Okay, so I just put a GTX 960 in. Card spins, so that's always a good sign. It's even got a light. I don't know, I'm worried if like the PCIe slot is like broken or something, I'm not too sure. I just turned it on with one stick, and oi, look at that fan. What was that? I just turned it on with one stick and it did a memory retrain, so it turned off, then it turned on just now it turned on again. And just trying to get a different response out of this thing. So right now, we are actually unable to get this thing to post. Put the 960 in, it's still not posting. 1070, no post, so I don't think it's a graphics card issue at this point. I've reset CMOS, I've taken one stick of RAM out. I'm just very unsure what the problem is because I've literally seen the spot-on system work. So, honestly, I could say it's a motherboard issue, just given it's got a broken PCIe slot maybe. I'm leaning towards that. However, we're going to go ahead with our normal build, the normal transformation I was originally planning, because we're actually not going to be using this motherboard. So let me just show you the process. We'll go along with the build, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll have to troubleshoot it there. So, okay, so now you've seen what's happened. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to take this thing apart. Okay, like this. See, don't need to unclick anything, you just go for it. Cool 960 though. Got HD audio, USB 3, SATA cable. I tried using a speaker, it didn't work. 20. Oh, oi, that came out really easy. What if that was the problem? I'd be spewing if that was the problem. I'll find out later anyway. Oh, there we go. There we go. And out comes our motherboard. We'll take out our power supply now. It's got every cable you can imagine here. Oh my. There we go, all done, power supply. And one more thing, we're going to do the hard drive. Seagate Barracuda, 1000 gigabytes. And that is our computer dismantled. So this case, I'll try sell it, maybe get 20 bucks so we can put that towards our profits. And let's have a look at this platform because we need to sort it out. Alright, now that we've dealt with all those problems, getting the computer apart, let's deal with what we're upgrading. Let's start with our SSD. If we got a PCIe 4.0, even though we're going to be running on 3.0 speeds, I wanted a Kingston drive, something a bit better, and we got a 500 gigabyte, so it should be okay. I believe we won't need to put a heatsink on it since it's running at 3.0 speeds. I know that's a concern with 4.0. Oh, you need to run a heatsink, otherwise it's going to get too hot. It's only going to be running at 3.0 speed, so I believe we should be okay with that. We got the Vetro V5 cooler yet again, but in white. And I'll tell you why we got it in white, because I managed to pick up this specimen of a case. I was actually able to get a really good deal because I saw the person selling the case and I was just interested in the case. I noticed they had a motherboard inside, but they said, oh, I'm willing to sell stuff together, stuff without. So I was like, I just want the case by itself. Until I picked up the computer, the red computer, I got it, I looked at the motherboard and I was like, oh yikes. Anyway, and then I was looking again on my marketplace and I read the motherboard name and I'm like, wait, does that support my CPU? And I messaged the guy and we talked and we were like, yep, let's do it, motherboard and case. And we agreed on 60 Aussie dollars, which I thought was a very good deal. Now, this motherboard actually doesn't have an I/O shield either, so we're still stuck with that problem, which I thought, oh, I was so bummed. But he said he was willing to shave some of the price off, so we did agree on 60 altogether. A motherboard and a case, I still think that is great value. So we got 2 fans at the front. We don't have, I think, the rear fan or the bottom fan. The case originally had 3, the guy told me. I was like, that's fine, whatever, it's all good. And so now we got this case and we're gonna pop our CPU into this motherboard, because now we have a full ATX size motherboard with a working PCIe slot. And I'm hoping we put our CPU, everything back into here, our system's gonna work just fine without all those problems we were experiencing before. So let's go through the process of doing that. But first, I found an I/O shield off of eBay for 20 bucks. $20, it's a scam. I honestly think it's a scam, but I want an I/O shield on my board, so we had to get it done. I obviously got it for this board, not the red case motherboard, because we're going to be using this one. As well as one more upgrade. We got an eBay graphics card anti-sag kit. So with all these parts together, first of all, we're gonna have to take the motherboard out of this so we can get the I/O shield in. And I'm gonna give this case a bit of a clean because it is a bit dirty, as well as all the fans. So we'll clean the case, get the motherboard out, and start our platform transformation. gonna be taking apart the platform so that we can move on, just get this over with. I don't know what the deal is with it. Oh, RAM's fighting me there. 2 T4 sticks of RAM. Let's just take it out gently. Okay, here we go. Just to show the viewers. There we go. We can literally just this motherboard off now. Let's get this big puppy out. Let me just lift it up and show you guys. If you look at the socket, there is, yeah, I'm sure you can see that. Well, it's a bit of thermal compound. I have actually tested this motherboard, it does work. So what I can try do is I can try get a bit out. Yeah, it's still very well there. Just very hard to get this stuff out, man. I'm gonna swap the CPU in and we're gonna just try for a post because I wanna see if this works or not. Might be a bit cringe, but I'm just gonna put a heatsink on this for now. Okay, power supply is turned on. We've done something right. Oh, new RAM, it's probably doing something. Oi, there we go. Got a post. Good to know. I think we can just go ahead with the build. So now we're going to introduce our 1070 Ti and confirm that it does work. And we just jump it. Oh, okay. There we go. See that light up? It posts with the graphics card. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and install our SSD. We've got a 500 gig. SSD is installed. Alright, we can apply the thermal paste now. Yeah, I don't know if that's too much. It feels a bit excessive actually. Oh, maybe I should take some off. I think that should be fine. We've got our thermal paste and now we can go ahead and mount this thing. Okay, and that is CPU cooler in, and now we just need to lock this. I think that's it. Very secure. Yeah, white stands out quite a lot now, huh? Alright, so let's get on to chucking this thing in the case. Before we go ahead and install the motherboard, I think we should do this. Put in our brand new, or I don't know brand new, but it looks pretty mint to me, hey. So let's put in our brand new IO shield. We have an IO shield in our build for once. The original reason I bought this deal was because I thought, well, I just kind of assumed the motherboard would have an IO shield, but I guess it didn't, so we had to just, oh Jesus, man. There we go. Okay, and now we can go ahead and finally put our greatly nice motherboard into the case. And that is our motherboard installed. And also with this case, I didn't mention before, he was missing some of the rear PCIe expansion slots. So these were the only two he had provided. However, I just had some of my own sitting around. As you can see here, luckily the case had black ones because I wouldn't have been able to get a hold of some white ones. So I'll just be installing these like so in the case, because the graphics card will take up 2, then I'll fill up another 2. Hopefully I'll have another 1 spare, but we'll have to do that to get by with this case, unfortunately. But in the end, they're all black. I think it'll be okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and install our power supply. Bronze, by the way, 80 plus bronze. Not the worst, not the best. That is our power supply installed. So we'll have a lot of cables to go through. And now we can go ahead and install our Seagate Barracuda. I've just loosened this. I just did this so I can push it all the way over to the left. Give us as much cable space as possible so that we can jam all these cables in, and I'll secure these from underneath. Done. And now we're gonna go and install our graphics card. However, you may notice that this is quite a big card, and I'm not even kidding. Look, this clearance, it's smack on the side. Now, I'm not even sure if it's gonna be able to get in. If I'm like, look, I can't even get it past here. The only way I'm thinking is to go diagonally to clear the silver left-hand side. Yeah, this is why I didn't even think about this. I just thought, oh yeah, it'll fit. Oh, okay. Jesus. I mean, I don't know how, it's like just resting on that. It's touching. I honestly don't think it's the worst thing. Like it's not bad. I don't think it's bad or anything for it. That fan honestly might just keep it propped up a little bit. Might actually help us. It's not the worst. Like I would like it. Yeah. Look, we bought the kit. We may as well use it. I think I'll just go ahead and install it. Yeah, basically that's how it works. Is that straight or what? Look at that. That is straight as. It is literally touching. And now we can go ahead and make all these connections. Beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna add a rear exhaust fan just to make it a bit more complete. And this is the only one I had on hand. It's a Cooler Master. It's got a bit of grey, so it can match, like, you know, top panel, front panel, just to suit the rest of the case instead of an all black one. Okay, there's rear exhaust fan installed, so we got that going. Uh-oh. As you can hear, there's a knocking sound. I was very fearful that this was going to touch the fans of the GPU. However, they don't. They've got a little guard, so that's okay. But this little friend, we got an issue. I believe, oh, excuse me. We are currently installing Windows 10. We're currently running Cinebench, and look at that, 50 degrees on the CPU. Crazy. For anyone wondering why this fan was not lit up previously and why it is now, is because I was waiting for an RGB converter, an ARGB, to the Corsair Node Core hub cable, which took like ages to come from China. It was like $6, but now we got the complete look. And this is our finished products. I'm very, very happy with how this has come out, considering what it used to be in its red, big ass case, stock cooler, not looking good, no RGB. Now we've got a real contending gaming computer. We've got the 1070 Ti, which has just been lifted, no longer sagging. It's literally touching the fan, but it's not affecting the fan or anything. I think it's fine. It's got a GPU anti-sag mount as well to help it just future-proof this build. The white Vetro V5 looking very nice, keeping everything nice and cool. And as well as now, we have a full-size ATX motherboard, which let us use this case and make it look much nicer than that old micro ATX problem-ridden motherboard, because now we've got a working system, very comfortable, got an I/O shield, PCIe bracket, locks it in, and we've got a very, very capable system here. So there you have it. This is the PC. I built this for 550 Aussie dollars. It's come a long way, and it's definitely up there as a gaming computer for used components. A 1070 Ti and an i7-8700, can't go better than that. Definitely very comfortable for 1080p gaming, 1440p gaming. I'm sure that will get you there. And now you just have the looks to complement it as well. $500 budget gaming computer, done.
So we have just gotten back and I have sold my computer. I sold it for 850 Aussie dollars, my asking price, which puts me at about $270 in profit, which is pretty good. Now, I just had the computer set up. I showed it to the buyer running, in Windows, blah, 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 blah. They were happy with it, and so they bank transferred me on the spot. And I checked my bank account. I didn't get scammed. I got the money, and yeah, everyone was happy with the deal. So it was a pretty successful sell, actually. However, I wasn't getting much interest before this person. It's one thing to note with doing these things, because sometimes I think it's about the timing of when you're selling a PC. Maybe Christmas has something to do with it. That's coming up, but yeah, I struck out very well in this one. So I made my money. And I think also my initial purchase of the Red computer, getting that for a decent deal of $370, I think that definitely helped me, because I was able to get pretty much a working system, but it was a bit ugly, but they don't want to buy something ugly. So I just fixed that problem, and that's what allowed me to make my money, because the specs were originally quite good, to be honest. I just pretty much prettied it up, chucked in an SSD, and the specs are pretty much the same when you think of it that way. And that made me my profit margin. But that's it for my video. So I hope you all can like and subscribe if you wish to, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Thank you for watching.